Live from the News Center in high definition, this is News Channel 8 on your side today.
I'm Gail Guayardo. Good morning and welcome to News Channel 8 today.
I'm Rod Carter. Thanks for joining us. It's Thursday, November 18th. In the headlines this morning, a pregnant woman died after a car hit 4 people, including 2 children in strollers. It happened last night at North 43rd Street. That's just north of Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. More details are coming up in just a few minutes in a live report.
Rescue workers in Rock Hill, South Carolina spent the night looking for survivors after an apparent tornado. Officials reported 3 dead, several injured, and at least 6 homes destroyed. 1 person died after severe weather hit Davidson County, North Carolina. You can see the damage to 1 home. In other areas, there are trees and power lines down. Storms also hit Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Fortunately, we're not seeing that severe weather, but we are seeing a good bit of fog in the Bay Area.
Yeah, a little bit of rain, too. Let's go to Storm Team 8 meteorologist Lee Spann for an update. Lee?
Yeah, the good thing is that when this system is making it into our area right now, it is much weaker than what we saw across the rest of the southeast. In fact, if you go to our radar, you can see that we are already starting to see this line of showers, even a couple of thunderstorms making its way into the northern and central now portions of Citrus County. So Crystal River, you're dealing with the rainfall right now, heavy at times, although you can see that already the back edge of this rain is going to be moving through pretty quickly. Now, out of our news center camera here, you see that it is foggy. 72 degrees at that location. As far as through the rest of the day, we'll keep the rain showers through the mid-morning hours. Then the front's going to get to our south by noon, 81 degrees at that point. Then the cooler air starts arriving. I'll let you know how cool coming up. Now let's check on the roadways with Leslie.
Thank you, Lee. Good morning, everyone. Well, traffic is definitely getting heavier out there. This is 275 southbound, folks, right around Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Even northbound, a lot heavier. And in the distance, as Lee's been talking about, a little bit of fog out there to look out for. So use some extra caution this morning when heading out the door. Meanwhile, in Pinellas County, southbound at Hercules, right near Gentry. Now, Gentry is a small road. It's past the railroad tracks just before you get to Palmetto. That's where that crash is. It's blocking at least one of those southbound lanes. Injuries are involved here, folks, on Hercules, and crews are on scene trying to wrap it up. Meanwhile, southbound 19 before Hammock Pines, another crash to look out for. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Leslie.
It's 6:33, and now the very latest developments following a tragic accident that claimed the life of a pregnant woman. That accident happened last night on North 43rd Street. That's near Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Police tell us 2 women were pushing children in strollers when a car hit them. News Channel 8's Chip Osowski joining us live this morning from Tampa General Hospital, where paramedics rushed those victims. Chip?
Rod, we know the pregnant mother of one of those children died here at Tampa General Hospital. At last check, doctors were still trying to save her unborn child. As far as the conditions of the other patients, we don't have any information on that at this hour. As you said, the accident happened right around 7:40 last night at North 43rd Street and Hillsborough Avenue. Police say 2 mothers were pushing their daughters in strollers south on 43rd when a green 4-door sedan came up behind them and hit them. Paramedics airlifted one of the mothers and her daughter to TGH. That 20-year-old is the mother who died. Her daughter was critically injured. Paramedics rushed the other mother and her daughter to the hospital, but their injuries were not considered to be life-threatening. Investigators say road conditions likely played a role in this accident.
He said he just didn't see him. He came up in the dark area behind me where the green car is, and he came up behind them and just did not see them. It doesn't appear to be very well lit, and there are no sidewalks, so that's an issue as well.
Was she a good mom?
She was. She always had her baby. Every time you see her, she with her baby in her stroller.
And the driver of that car did remain on the scene and is cooperating with investigators. So far, no charges have been filed as a result of this accident. Rob?
All right, Chip, thank you. And we'll check back in with you for an update in about 20 minutes.
In an 8 on Your Side crime tracker alert, a murder investigation in Clearwater. A girlfriend came home last night to discover her boyfriend dead in their condo. Clearwater police received a call around 8:30 last night about the mysterious death. Officers found the body of a man in his 40s inside a unit at the Eagles Glen condo complex on Landmark Drive. The investigation is in its preliminary stages, and police aren't releasing many details just yet.
But we are able to say that this does not appear to be a random act, and the victim may have known his killer.
Clearwater investigators say they're working leads at this hour to identify a suspect or suspects. The sentencing phase of the Humberto Delgado trial gets underway today. Earlier this week, a jury found Delgado guilty of killing Tampa Police Corporal Mike Roberts in 2009. The prosecution is seeking the death penalty. A jury will decide if Vincent Brown should face the death penalty for the murder of his girlfriend, Jennifer Johnson. The jury convicted Brown of the crime yesterday. Outside the courthouse, Johnson's family hugged and said the verdict gives them closure.
And now to the very latest developments in the ongoing sex abuse scandal at Penn State University. As the investigation continues, there are new questions this morning about whether assistant coach Mike McQueary alerted authorities after allegedly witnessing Jerry Sandusky sexually assaulting a boy in the shower in 2002. The grand jury report says McQueary was, quote, never questioned by university police, but McQueary told a friend by email, quote, I did have discussions with police and with the official at the university in charge of police. Penn State authorities said, quote, we have no record of any police report filed by Mike McQueary. This is the first we have heard of it. Meanwhile, Sandusky's attorney is explaining the decision to allow his client to do a national phone interview with NBC's Bob Costas. The defense attorney says, Joe Amendola is his name, he said that people need to realize that Sandusky has a defense and that he has not been convicted of anything. Amendola says he thought it was time for people to hear Sandusky proclaim his innocence.
With all the negative feedback and all the things we've heard about the victim number 2 situation, which Mike McQueary supposedly saw, I thought it was time that maybe they heard from Jerry over the biggest avenue possible that I didn't do this.
And one more note about that Bob Costas interview. A lawyer for one of Sandusky's alleged victims told NBC News his client is even more motivated to testify against Sandusky after hearing him on national television.
Now to a big story that's happening today in Bay Area schools. If you're a parent, you've probably heard of the Great American Teach-In. It's when hundreds of professionals spend the day speaking at local schools. News Channel 8's Adrienne Pedersen joins us now live from our Tampa newsroom. And Adrienne, I know from years of doing this that kids get so excited about the events.
Yeah, that's right, Gail. They love it. And although the main events for the Teach-In kick off today, Bryan Elementary has been hosting speakers throughout the week. The Hillsborough County Teach-In is presented by SERVE, that's the volunteer arm of the school district, and it brings professionals and hobbyists into local schools. Yesterday, Bryan Elementary students got a taste for life outside the classroom. They spent the day learning about horses. And here's another important lesson. They're coloring pictures of a mail truck. The lesson there, stay away from the truck when it comes up to your house. They also watched a demonstration from a quilter as well as the Coast Guard. The goal is to get the kids excited about a career and start thinking about how school falls into that.
We had a doctor that came to see us on Monday, and he started talking to them about how much school it takes to be a doctor and how they'll be in school until they're 28 years old. And I saw some of their eyes kind of glaze over. I thought, oh, he lost them.
That sounds like a lot of years when you're only 5. The teacher told me the most popular answer she gets from students about what they want to be when they grow up is doctors and teachers. And Gail, I just checked the schedule again and saw one of the things is learning to Zumba. So I'm kind of jealous. I've always wanted to do that.
That does sound like a fun one. Get the whole class up, get a little exercise.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Adrienne. Several other districts like Pinellas County are also participating. They're expecting more than 14,000 presentations for the Teach-In.
New this morning, President Obama is on his way to Bali, Indonesia. Before leaving Australia, though, the president visited with journalism students at a high school in Canberra. The kids asked him about a lot of things, including the American education system, climate control, or climate change, I should say, not control, and the economy. Prison officials at a juvenile detention center in Mexico say violence has dropped since inmates began taking yoga classes. One inmate says yoga helps him to relax and maintain control over himself. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton accidentally became the star of a hit viral video when she was visiting Hawaii. Clinton was startled when a torchbearer streaked behind her